This is the Volkswagen Golf GTI MK 8.5 and this is the Skoda Octavia RS 265 MK 4.5, and today I'm going to be comparing them. But this is a hatchback and this is a sedan. So how does this comparison even make sense? Well, you see, if you want a go-fast performance car for Fortuner money, these are the only two options. Actually, neither of them are an option because both of them are sold out. Not because they are in huge demand, but because very few units came to India. 100 units of the Octavia RS and 150 units of the Golf GTI, and the second batch will be coming really soon. Yes, these are both fully imported models and thus the Octavia RS cost rupees 63.19 lakhs. But it's still 2.22 lakhs cheaper because the Golf GTI cost rupees 65.41 lakhs on road Mumbai. That's a lot of money, but I can't wait for these cars to become cheaper by at least rupees 20 lakhs once the India-EU FTA comes into effect.
Really think that's gonna make a difference?
Anyways, before I start this comparison, a quick shout out to my current travel setup because this has been coming with me on every short drive and trip lately. This is the Tommy Hilfiger Overnighter. It's got a hard outer shell so my stuff stays protected, and I really like the clean monogram design. The 360-degree wheels glide smoothly, the handle adjusts easily, and it comes with a TSA lock which adds extra security on the go. It looks compact but it actually fits a lot. My 14-inch laptop fits easily. There's a separate pocket for a power bank, and it even has a built-in USB charging port, which is super useful when my phone's running low. Inside, it's well organized and comes with a separate shoe pouch, which is great for quick trips. I pair it with the matching Tommy Hilfiger monogram laptop backpack. It's water resistant, comfortable to carry, and just completes the set. You can check them out on bagline.com, Bagline stores, and leading e-commerce platforms. The links are in the description and pinned comment. Coming back to these go-fast machines, they are very similar underneath, using the same powertrain platform and other bits too. I can't do that here. But you can't make it out because Volkswagen and Skoda are very smart car brands, unlike Nissan and Renault or Maruti and Toyota, which make it quite obvious, with the biggest change in their cars being the logos. Anyways, in terms of design, the Golf GTI looks fantastic, but the Octavia RS looks even better. It's a sedan, so it's sleek and sporty. It's also bigger in every dimension except height, as the Golf GTI is the taller car here. The Octavia RS is 420mm longer and 40mm wider than the Golf GTI. It also runs on bigger 19-inch wheels when compared to the Golf's 18-inch wheels. But the design of the Golf's alloys are better, as the Octavia RS has aero caps on its alloys, but those can be removed. Both have dual exhausts, but the Golf's tips look more purposeful as they aren't hidden in enclosures, like in the case of the Octavia RS. Step inside and the difference between these cars is huge, as the Octavia feels more premium with the suede finish on the dashboard and leather on the seats. While both cars get 12.9-inch infotainment screens, the one on the Octavia RS looks better integrated and doesn't seem to be stuck on later like in the case of the Golf GTI. Both these cars get plenty of kit, including matrix LED headlights, welcome and goodbye animations at the front and rear, logo projection from the outside rear view mirrors, red colored brake calipers, red stitching on the dashboard, steering and seats, 10.25-inch digital instrument cluster with multiple views, voice commands. Hello Ida, find me a Skoda dealership.
Search for Skoda dealer nearby. Sorry, unable to find any POIs. Please change your search query.
Of course, how will you be able to find a Skoda dealership? Anyways, the Octavia RS is sold out too. Where can I find a BMW M340i for a steal price?
Sorry, I don't know how to do that yet.
Learn bro, learn. 3-zone climate control air conditioning, 30 color ambient lighting with multiple themes, (60/40) split folding rear seats with an openable hatch behind the rear center armrest, wireless phone projection, front and rear parking sensors, electric parking brake, auto hold, metal pedals, sports seats, front seat heating, wireless charging pad, lined door pockets, rear fog lamps, the exact same key but with different logos, and level 2 ADAS, which even after turning off turns back on every time you restart the car. But it's the Octavia RS which is the better equipped car here, with features like headlight washers, gas struts for the bonnet, keyless entry, powered front seats with memory, front seat massage, 360-degree parking camera, auto parking that works quite well, head-up display, adjustable under-thigh support for the front seats, ticket holder on the windshield, tickling function, tinted windows, 10 airbags in front of the Golf 7, powered boot, spare wheel which is from a brand called Ling Long.
What?
Branded audio system from Canton with 675 watt output and 11 speakers. The Golf gets just 7 speakers. And proper physical buttons below the touchscreen and for the headlight control, as the Golf GTI gets touch type buttons. That said, the Golf GTI does have some unique features which the Octavia RS misses out on. Like front fog lamps, connected light bar at the front, illuminated logo, customizable tail light signatures, illuminated door handles, rear wiper and washer, bonnet release button on the right side, steering wheel heating and a sunroof. Yes, Skoda has done a Toyota here. Not because they want to increase their profits, but because of the design of the roof, which has a coupe-like slope, which obviously can't accommodate a sunroof. I also like the steering wheel and instrument cluster of the Golf GTI better, especially this display, and the tartan finish on the seats are so iconic. The VW logo at the rear flips open to reveal the camera, while the rear camera of the Octavia RS gets the cleaning function. The pulsating engine start button of the Golf GTI is far better than the push start button on the Octavia RS that is placed where the keyhole usually is. But the manual seat adjustment is a pain in the Golf GTI because to adjust the seat angle, you have to rotate this knob as there is no lever here. Ouch! Still, some things are missing in these cars which should have been offered, like ventilated front seats, rear window blinds, dynamic chassis control and physical controls, as you are too reliant on the touchscreen, even for the volume, as there is a slider below the screen for the same. Thankfully, the steering has proper physical buttons, and a conventional gear lever instead of a switch to choose gears would have been much better. So while finding the traction control button in the Golf GTI is rather straightforward, Doing the same in the Octavia RS requires you to go through multiple menus. The Octavia RS, being the bigger car here with a 50mm longer wheelbase, has more space at the rear, but both cars do poorly when it comes to under-thigh support and can't accommodate a third person at the rear due to the transmission hump. The Golf GTI, being the taller car, does offer better headroom here. Both cars offer plenty of storage spaces, but the Octavia gets a storage tray in front of the rear AC vents, portable dustbin, and a bigger boot by a significant 220 litres. The Octavia RS also gets a secret storage space below the rightmost AC vent, sunglass holder, and comes with umbrella holders in the door along with umbrellas too. The RS also gets a mobile holder at the rear, while the Golf GTI gets pockets. But all this doesn't matter because these cars are all about the driving experience, and both of them are powered by the exact same 2-litre 4-cylinder E8888 Gen 4 petrol engine, which produces the same output as well as have the exact same gearbox too. So which one drives better? Let's give them the beans. Alright, it's time to start driving with the Octavia RS first. Let's keep the engine start button pressed. It revs up bit till almost 2000 RPM because that's known as the emotion start. And straight away, I'm going to turn off the air conditioning. You see, the process is okay with this, but the process to turn off the traction control is absolutely crazy. So first things first, I need to come into mode and then I come into sport mode. In order to activate launch control, I have to actually turn off the traction control, which means I come into vehicle here. Just look at this, it's so freaking insane. It's so crazy. If you don't know the car, you will not be able to figure out. Then you come into brakes and then you come into ASC system and then you turn it off. Yeah, that's a long freaking process. Absolutely crazy. I don't know what they were thinking when they were deciding we should do something like that. And there's no such menu I can go in here. Straight away, I come into drive and I'm going to show you a nice hack. Hazard lights off. So we are rolling right now and okay. Firstly, I come into neutral. Okay, see, soft limiter under 4000 RPM, 3800 RPM. Now I come into drive and I'm moving and then I put it into neutral on the go and then soft limiter vanishes. We go all the way to 6500 RPM. It holds the position there, which is absolutely crazy. Oh, so satisfying. Now, oh, the pops and cracks and all those things also happen. Straight away, I come into drive mode. It's the time to launch this car, which means left foot on the brake and vehicle stopped because of stop start system. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, launch control program active, and off we go. That's a lot of wheel spin. And that is 0 to 100 km per hour in 6.48 seconds. As per Skoda's claim, Skoda claims this car goes from 0 to 100 km per hour in 6.4 seconds. So yeah, we got the exact same time, but I think I can go faster still. So we're going to try that again. And here's the time. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Let's reset this. And launch control program active. Oh my god, the shifts are so damn quick. And that's 0 to 100 km per hour in 6 seconds. So yeah, this is faster than Skoda's claim. And the problem is there are a lot of freaking rumblers here. No problem as such with this car in terms of high speed stability and high speed ride, because suspension is on the stiffer side, but still it is actually quite funny how the car behaves on different type of roads. Because I remember when I was driving this car on the track, the Budh International Circuit, I found the car to be a bit too soft. Here on the road, the public road, I find it to be a bit too stiff. Yeah, it feels a bit too stiff. Obviously, same E8888 engine as the Golf GTI, producing the exact same 265 horsepower and the same 370 Newton meters of torque. But the difference here is this car is actually slower than the Golf only because of the added weight here, and that's the reason when you launch both the cars together, the Golf sprints ahead and maintains a slight difference because the Golf goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour almost half a second faster in claim times, obviously, and we're going to test the Golf's timing on the same freaking road to get the exact accurate figure as well. Anyways, 100 kilometers per hour, and it's time to do the brake test. Hazard lights on. Super. Brakes are absolutely mental. And it's the time to launch it again. We can do a lot of runs. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Launch control program active, and off we go. That's 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.9 seconds. Take that, Volkswagen Golf GTI. Anyways, when compared to the Golf GTI, this car feels a bit too silent. Why? Because Skoda has done a better job in terms of insulation, so it feels more refined, smoother, which is good if this was an Octavia, but not so good because this is not an Octavia, it's an Octavia RS, so it needs to be a bit louder, it needs to be a bit more raw, which it unfortunately isn't. So we're just going to take a nice diversion here to put it through some corners, and trust me on this, around the corners the car feels really nice to drive. Yeah, feels really fun as well, and this added weight definitely helps as well. So it has a heft to it. Steering feels a bit artificial but weighs up beautifully too. So in terms of handling, it's really good, but the Golf GTI handles better, and I'll tell you that in a bit while driving the Golf. Obviously, the body roll is well in check for a sedan like this, and the engine is absolutely stunning. The way it performs is so sweet. The performance is just mind-blowing here because it is just so freaking damn good in the way it pulls and it pulls, and how around the corners you are just going to put a massive smile on your face. The car is going to put a massive smile on your face. You're not going to put a massive smile on your face. Anyways, you get the gist. Performance is mind-blowing here. It's just that it is slightly slow when compared to the Golf GTI, and it's not as agile as the Golf GTI, and the ride isn't as good as the Golf GTI. Both are stiff. Both are very stiff. This is running on 19-inch wheels. Not that it makes a big difference because the tires are the same. 225s, I think. And the thing is, the profile is also the same. It's 40 profile tires, so it's not like 19-inch wheels having lesser sidewall. But yeah, it feels slightly more stiffer because of the added weight. They had to obviously stiffen things up. But what a beautiful car to drive. This is what a sedan is all about. But then the Golf GTI is a hatchback, so I can't really say it's just a sedan thing. It can be a hatchback thing as well for giving you real fun driving dynamics. So I think I can just stop and launch this car yet again, which means left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, launch control program active, and off we go. That's 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.98 seconds. So consistently very, very, very fast. The thing here is it doesn't wheel spin as much as the Golf GTI, so it's able to put its power down better because of the bigger wheels, obviously. And it's obviously huge fun to drive this car because performance is mind-blowing. It's just that the insulation is way too good here, so the exhaust should be louder still. And somehow I feel the Golf has addressed all these issues because probably the exhaust is closer to you because of the size of the car. Yeah, the exhaust sits much nearer to you, so you hear that much more, and the pops and cracks are like louder. The bangs also are louder in the Golf GTI. So in terms of the driving feel alone, obviously a sedan is unmatched, but somehow I feel they've made it way too refined, way too smooth, which is good for a lot of people. But honestly, for a person like me who likes the raw feel, who likes the driving feel of a car, the Golf just does better in this regard. The gearbox is so fast with shifts, yeah, amazingly quick with shifts. Obviously 7-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox. Nothing to differentiate between both the cars in terms of the way the gearbox performs, but in terms of ground clearance, this is slightly lower by 8 mm to be precise, because the ground clearance here is 128 mm. And you know what's the difference between 8 mm? That's the difference between touching the underbelly and not touching it at all. And I don't know how it's able to put all that power down so impressively well. So yeah, the big difference between both the cars is that there's a higher chance of the Octavia RS touching its underbelly than the Golf GTI because of a slight difference between the ground clearance of both these cars. But trust me on this, you can't go wrong with either. Performance is very, very, very similar. It's just that the Octavia brings in more refinement here, which most people will definitely appreciate. Now, the problem I have with this car is how has the price become double in the past 8 years? Because I remember when in 2018 the Octavia RS 230 had come, the third generation model. Oh my goodness, that was rupees 30 lakhs on road. This is rupees 63 lakhs on road. Prices have more than doubled in the past 8 years, and that's because the car is no longer assembled in India. It comes in via the CBU route. I just feel pity for us Indians that we don't get to drive good cars. We don't get value for money sedans anymore, because why is this imported? Why can't this be made in India? Time to now drive the Golf GTI. I like this. Okay, let's turn on the car. Rose to life. First things first, we are going to turn off the air conditioning. Come on, those buttons here are not that intuitive to use. But anyways, straight away, I'm going to change the drive mode. Yeah, it gets a bit confusing here. We come into sport drive mode. I need to turn off the traction control, ESC system off, and I need to confirm it here. And now I'm going to do my soft limiter trick by coming into drive, rolling off, hazard lights off, and straight into neutral. There it revs till 6,500 RPM. We're driving at like 5 kilometers per hour. That is so damn freaking cool. The pops, cracks, bangs, everything, just amazing. Anyways, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, launch control program active, and off we go. This is not a good launch, because I was a bit on gravel. So 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 6.6 seconds. I could feel it that the launch wasn't great, so we're going to do that again. So yeah, I have already confirmed. What are you waiting for? Yeah, it says ESC off here, but this screen is saying ESC is not off. What's wrong with you? So as I see it, obviously the Golf feels much better to drive because it's lighter, and trust me, the biggest problem with modern cars is the weight they keep adding on. Because a light car means better dynamics, better performance, better ride. Everything is better with lightness. Obviously, this is a hatchback, so it's lighter when compared to sedan like the Octavia RS. So anyways, here we go. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Let's reset this, and off we go. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 6.11 seconds. I don't know what's wrong with the car. It should be faster than the Octavia RS. But anyways, let me tell you something very clearly. This car feels much better to drive than the Octavia RS because of its lighter weight. It's more chuckable. Yeah, it's sharper to drive. Obviously, it feels like a go-kart. Faster, better handling, better ride quality. Almost better in almost every way, but minutely. Not much of a difference. Like, it's not a day-night difference, just like 19-20 wala farak here, because essentially both have the same platform, the engine, everything is the same here. I think because of lesser insulation here, the car is louder, which is such a good thing because you can hear a lot inside, which is nice because this feels a bit more raw. The Octavia RS definitely feels smoother and refined, but this one feels a bit raw, a bit more rugged, a bit more I would say sporty, which is actually a very good thing here because obviously you want that sound all the time, and that's what makes this car so much fun as well. The sound. Yes, sports cars or performance cars should be loud, and this is exactly that. Yeah, it feels like a go-kart, complete go-kart in the way it drives, which is quite amazing because I like the fact that I can feel a lot of what's happening here, and that's how a car should be. Refinement, smoothness and all is actually robbing away the feel from cars. And look at the kind of wheel spins it does. It does more wheel spins than the Octavia RS. The Octavia RS is somehow able to put that power down slightly better, and that's because obviously it is running on bigger wheels. However, what an engine. This EA888 engine is absolutely mind-blowing in the way it performs. I honestly feel that I'm flying in this car, which I don't feel in the Octavia RS much because obviously that's just so much more comfortable in terms of the interior feel and all. This one not so much. Here you can feel everything, and that's the best part about this car. And because the lighter weight, it obviously handles so much better too. I mean, steering feel is very similar in both the cars. However, because of the light weight, you're able to push this harder and faster. This feels so quick and responsive as well, and that's the advantage of being a hatchback. You know, hot hatch they say, because such hatches are definitely hot. You never hear a term called hot sedan. They call it the performance sedan. This is proper hot hatch. This is proper fun. What a machine. And obviously the gearbox, which can be manually controlled using the paddles, does not have manual control as such, because you can't hold on to a gear. It will upshift, and it upshifts really fast. I mean, I honestly find it the most difficult job in the world, comparing two brothers from another mother's, whatever that meant. Yeah, like same cars at the end of the day, not much to differentiate them, obviously, because of the way both are so identical. It's just that the Octavia feels more comfortable and refined in terms of the interior feel, and this one feels more raw. Let's do the brake test. Brakes are sharp, but obviously a lot of tire noise. Now let's test the acceleration. Again, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Off we go. Hazards automatically turned off. Launch control program active. Dynamic roadside assist outside of application area. 0 to 100 km per hour in 6 seconds. Today, the Octavia RS has been the faster car somehow, which is kind of surprising. I expected this to be better. I think this car has run a bit more. So obviously it needs a service probably. But I enjoy driving the Golf more any day and every day, because it just feels louder. Yeah, the exhaust as well as the intake sound is just louder here, and the ground clearance is slightly better here as well. So few aspects in which this car absolutely excels, which is actually crucial if you're looking to buy such a car, because at the end of the day you want sound. Yeah. I can't believe this car is not going faster than the Octavia RS from 0 to 100 km per hour. I just cannot believe it only. So we're going to do the acceleration test again. Come into sport, then only launch control works. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Launch control program active, and off we go. No. Still 5.97 seconds. Haven't been able to beat Volkswagen's claim today, which is kind of unfortunate. This car has got something known as the progressive steering, which obviously the Octavia RS also gets, which means that as you keep turning, the ratio becomes sharper, which means that you don't have to turn a lot. So yeah, this is superb engineering here. In fact, for a front wheel drive car, both the Octavia RS and the Golf GTI perform exceptionally well. Somehow they're able to put all that power down because of the limited step differential. Yeah, both have understeer, but somehow the understeer comes in very late, so you can push this car really hard around the corners, and when you reach near the limit, that's when the understeer kicks in. Before that, everything is so sweet and measured here. But I'll tell you where the Golf actually has an advantage. The Octavia RS is the fastest Skoda car. It's like the top of the line, the flagship Skoda, the best performance which Skoda can offer. But the Golf GTI isn't, because this is the GTI. There's a Golf Club Sport as well, which produces 300 horsepower. And then there's the Golf R, which is bonkers to drive because it goes sideways like this. Firstly, it has got all-wheel drive, which obviously adds to the weight of the vehicle. But the same 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine now produces more power and torque. It's producing, I'm out of breath. Yeah, this car is now producing 330 horsepower and the torque output is 420 Newton meters. The result is this car goes from 0 to 100 km per hour in 4.6 seconds, which happens to be 1.3 seconds faster when compared to the Golf GTI, which is absolutely crazy. You can drive it sideways like this. It's very dynamic. Oh my goodness, yeah, you have 6 drive modes now. Okay, give me the power. Straight in the car, visibility is poor, but I can't drive straight, I have to dance. 6 drive modes: race, drift and special. Drift mode in a Golf GTI, absolutely bonkers. What does it do? Well, you can do this. Yeah, there is no soft limiter here. You can go nuts, revving the nuts out of this car. What a machine! Absolutely crazy. Does Skoda have anything like that? Absolutely not. But the problem here is they have kept the haptic controls on the steering wheel, which is not so good. But what a car! So obviously Volkswagen is far superior when it comes to making performance cars, because they make some crazy cars and crazy variants with the Golf itself, and that's something which makes me believe that if you can get a Golf, you should probably get the option of getting a high variant of the Golf, which unfortunately isn't offered in India. Anyways, let's test this again. Hopefully we should beat the Octavia RS. Launch control and off we go. Wheel spins to glory. By the way, both the cars are going to return between 5 to 7 kilometers per liter, not more than that. Consistent timing here. I remember I had beaten this timing when I tested the Golf earlier for the pros and cons video which I had made. How do you even decide between both these cars? They are so neck to neck in terms of performance. Definitely the Golf feels more fun to drive, and that's obviously because hatchbacks over sedans any day. I am so sorry, Desire lovers. Yeah, don't expect anything more than 7-8 kilometers per liter from these cars, because they obviously guzzle a lot of fuel. Earlier models of the GTI as well as the RS used to come with diesel engine options as well, but now there's a hatred towards diesel engines for absolutely no reason whatsoever. So, which car should you choose? Clearly, both these cars are very overpriced, but the Octavia RS feels less overpriced because of its bigger size and better equipment list too, making it the better overall package. However, the Octavia RS is only popular in India. Meanwhile, the Golf GTI has a global legacy. Thus, deciding between these cars isn't easy, but as much as I love sedans, a hot hatch is all I need. And thus, it's the Golf GTI which I would personally pick, but with a sprinkling of club sport, please. I'm just kidding. If I had this kind of money, I would pick a used BMW M340i. Every day. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That's the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comment section below which among these two cars you would choose. Bye bye.